format.
Yes.
Oh, when you guys probably write like for the Walla sessions too, right? So is that like, because I know like sometimes there isn't like specific like flaps for it. So is that better or worse than working with that, having just to come up with something off the spot?
It's better and worse.
Yeah, I don't know. In our shop, if there are flaps, we break it out into a separate line and just assign it to an actor. Walla to me is it's very general. It's 20 men and women shopping.
Yeah.
Minute and a half. Go. I mean, that's all you get on there because you do it visually. Walla's really done visually. You kind of do it in the moment, and it also depends on the group you have. Because sometimes you have a really good group and you don't have to do much, and sometimes you have a group that's just like, okay, let's try it again. So Walla's and it's always, I don't know for us, but it's always the last thing we do. So we kind of know what we need. Try to keep it to a minimum. We steal a lot from the Japanese.
We have like files that are created, so it's like if they need a cheering section, then they'll bring in the cheering section that was already recorded, then add a few people on top. I've noticed that different directors at Funimation want different things. Some directors are fine with just Walla for 3 minutes and you don't have to put anything there. And then there are other directors who will remain nameless, who like their Walla to be divided by character with specific lines and examples for them to say in the background. Which when you're working on some shows, that's a lot of Walla. But what I'll do is sometimes I'll give examples like, hey, just so you know, this is what you're talking about. This is why you're screaming and running. This is, oh my God, where's my child? Somebody tell me how to get out of here. That kind of stuff, just so if somebody's in the booth and they're brand new, they're not sitting around going,
Oh yeah.
what do I do? But yeah, usually I like to just go, Walla for 3 minutes. Go, because your voice actors, let's be real, your voice actors should be able to do that.
Yeah, we use Walla a lot to train new actors too. So that's when we do have to bring in okay, I'd like you to say that, and you say that, and you scream like this. And that's how we teach the new people how to do things. That's where we try people out. We found a lot of people that way. So, yes, sir.
Can you do a voice of Bulma?
I'm just now doing eyes.
Bulma sounds more like this. Hi, my husband is Vegeta.
Do you like Yamsa?
No.
How come?
No, of course, Yamcha and Vegeta are voiced by the same person, so
Yeah.
I like them.
Can you do Scorpion? Okay,
Let me
yeah, one at a time. Sorry about that. My bad.
So, okay. Did you guys start out as actors first and then become writers, or were you allowed to like start writing things like once you got into the business?
I started as an actor. I think it's important that you know how to voice act. Not necessarily that you can do it professionally, but that you know the basics of it before you start adapting scripts. Because there's a certain timing element, and you need to have a little bit of understanding of what the actor is going through so that you can not write things that will just trip them up. But I started as an actor. Went from actor to writer to director. That was my
It was the same. I mean, I studied creative writing in college because that's so practical.
You guys need to talk.
But as far as like actually doing it professionally, same thing. Because you're in the booth, and just from being in the booth as an actor, the directors will eventually figure out, hey, they're good at fixing things on the fly. Because even if a script is really well adapted, not knowing who's going to play the character, the timing isn't going to be exact. So there are times where you have to add a word, lose a word, take a syllable, do this. And some people are good at making those fixes on the fly, and some aren't. And so eventually, once you've done it long enough, they're like, hey, so-and-so can kind of see the matrix. And then they'll say, try writing a script. That didn't suck. Maybe try directing a script. Okay, that didn't suck either. It's definitely sort of a natural, organic progression usually.
Yeah, it usually has to be better than didn't suck though.
Yeah.
That's all I think.
Yeah, I started out as an actor, and I actually started writing because we were working on a show. The scripts were really rough, and I was like, can I give it a shot? Because I mean, I think they'll be better than what we got. And the director at the time like really kind of gave me pointers and was really brutally honest with me. But because of that, I think that I learned so much. And but yeah, I started out as an actor totally, and then writer, and then director, and now just.
I will tell you that I used to every so often I will class on ADR adapting because we're real short writers right now in LA. And, or at least we were. Are we back again? What I would make the writers do on the second day after they wrote their little scene is go into the booth and record it. Not because I want them to be voice actors, but I want them to understand what the dynamics are and what they're facing. And that helps a lot because when you're writing and adapting ADR, it's really important to not do it in your head. You can't sit there going. You have to speak it out loud when you're kind of running it back to make sure at full voice and at conversational speed it's going to fit. You have to be careful of is not to go, well, it's a little short, so I'll just go really fast. Yeah, that doesn't work either.
You can tell when you're hitting dialogue that nobody has ever read aloud before because they'll hit these word and letter combinations that you're like, there's no way to say this and not sound awkward. These words have never been spoken aloud ever until now.
Because something that reads well doesn't necessarily speak well.